Hey, boys and girls, thanks for your hard work today. I know it's hard to go through some of these and read this ancient language, but Miss Richardson and I certainly hope that you are finding this interesting and examining how Hammurabi lived in 1750 BCE before Common Era. Which brings us to the topic of your Mesopotamia city drawings. So, first of all, we loved looking at them. There were some that had so much detail, so much creativity, and I didn't give you much to go on. I didn't give you an example because sometimes it's easy to copy an example. And so you guys really took it to the next level and made it your own. So thank you for doing that. I know that was a little challenging, and it was okay on this particular assignment to do that. So thank you for that. But we had one little thing that we need to clarify. So many of you, for the religious portion of your assignment about Mesopotamia, put in a church or a cross or a one god, or priests. So I just want to go through and just show you something. So we're talking about, here's Babylon on here. We're talking about Hammurabi was the leader of Babylon, right? And we're around 1750-ish BCE. Jesus has not been born yet. We are in the time period before Jesus. There's not even a monotheistic religion yet. So monotheistic, mono, like a mono glass, means one. There's not even that type of religion available yet to people. It has not been thought of, or I don't know if the word is invented, created, needed, talked about yet. Okay, so where does Jesus come into play? And we talked about this a while ago on the Jewistogram. If you notice where my cursor is right now, Jesus is born at the 0 mark. Now, yes, I know there's some debate on the exact date, but that's what we use for our time period and for our Gregorian calendar, is that 0 is when Jesus was born. And that is when it turns to CE. So when we have BC, before Christ, and AD, Anno Domini, that's after Jesus comes. And some people say after death. That's not exactly right, but that helps us to remember that that was when Jesus was alive, then dead. BCE, and BC is before that. And we can see clearly that Babylon is before that. So we can't have a church, we can't have priests associated with Christianity and the cross, because that does not quite make sense. The Babylonians and the people alive during this time period were polytheistic. That means they had multiple gods. We saw in those videos, we saw in the assignment, thousands of gods sometimes. Now they would pick out a few they'd really worship and they would really spend time on. And yes, there could have been priests associated with that, but not in terms of one god and a church, but in the ziggurat and the multiple gods. So I hope that clarifies a little bit. Jesus was not around yet. He hasn't come to earth yet, if you go on that belief. But down here, the Babylonians were polytheistic, and it was before then, and their religious symbols would have been the ziggurat, would have been close to the center of town or in the highest point of their city-state, to show it off and to be demonstrating of how important it was, and that would have been the religious aspect for your Mesopotamia town. Thank you guys, and have a great day.